Good morning. What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. Link will be in the description box below as usual. Go get it. This video is entitled Fear of the Buck Stopping Here. So I was on a telephone call last night with somebody that I've known for a long time. And they had been going through some issues. And they told me the story and I'm listening and I'm like, well, that sucks. But you know, such and such is not going to keep happening. Or you're not going to be able to do this, that, and the third anymore. And all of a sudden, the conversation went left because they got real defensive. Like, they can't do that. They can't take that away from me. I'm like, yeah, they can. No, you can't. Nuh-uh. I'm like, yeah, that's very possible. Have you seen it dwindling down in time, haven't you? Yeah, I have, but they can't do that. They can't do that. And I'm like, and in my mind, I'm like, you too? Now, the reason I'm gonna go into a lot of different things, but it was funny because I'm like, you're mad because the buck is stopping here, but here's the issue. There's a lot of people who society has been rewarding for bad behavior for a very long time. And but it can't afford to do that anymore. So you have people who are accustomed to circumventing actually fending for themselves or and being productive human beings because they're smart and they think they're smart enough to get over on everybody, but then when it's time to hold their own, they're dumb enough to not be able to handle adult life and adult responsibilities. And it's like, here we go. See, you're afraid that the buck stops here because a lot of people I've seen over time, they like, I like my benefits in getting over, but it's sad, but the next generation gonna have to deal with that. You're starting to see a lot of people having to deal with these situations that they got themselves into, and they have a hard time with this. Very, very hard time with this. Like I said in a political sense. What conservatives have been saying to liberals is this: yo, see all this stuff that you've been doing that people have been paying for, all this nonsense, gotta go. You can't do it no more. Everybody can't pay for you to be a screw up. That's what it is. You a screw up, you gotta go. And people are flipping out like, no, but I've been screwing up so well and it's been making me so much money. How can you take that away? The buck's gonna stop, dog. Like, other people can't pay for it. Are not supposed to be spending their lives paying for your bad decisions. And even on the flip side of that, it's the same thing. Like, just because you're always on offense and you never pay because you're aggressive, you're not paying for the damage you caused. Guess what? Liberals are like, you got to pay for the stuff that you did. You were on the offensive. It made money in a capitalist society, but you're going to have to pay for this fallout. You created the fallout. And then you got conservatives, no, just let go, let it go. No, what's happening is it's a fear of the buck stopping here. People are afraid of it because a lot of people across the board have been getting away with a lot of things that, we could sweep under the rug. Problem is the rug's full. The rug's full. You got. This is why I said, the hypocrisy of America is getting put out on blast through technology. And the thing is, the people that used to be hidden and able to get away with stuff and get rich by getting away with nonsense are now front page news on everybody's phone in every city and state in America. Everybody's stance that they stood on for so many years that put them in a successful space has now turned on his head because the buck got to stop here. You know, you see all this bad parenting. What's going on with it? These bad parents are afraid that the buck stops here. Like, oh, we're going to blame this person and that person. No, society got tired of, society played through all the excuses of who it could be and what it could be in the circumstance. Now it's like, no, it's you. The buck stops here. We're sick of you. And you see people afraid of this because, like I said before, I've met so many people who they know how to scam, but they don't know how to stand on, the fallout of that scam when people say it's over with. You saw all these. I remember they had the people, I think in New York, who did millions and millions of dollars worth of health fraud scam. Then they got caught, and then they want to hide their face. No. The buck stops here with you. In my own community, what people have been saying, is there's this argument about, we need to come together and create our own society and communities again. And while people are pushing for this, what they're pushing back against is the buck stopping, because the people that they want to do this is like, well, these behaviors won't be acceptable. And you see people flipping out. I need you to create a community, but I need to bring all my shenanigans to it because I don't know how to survive without the shenanigans I'm pulling. That's what's going on. You're afraid the buck's gonna stop here because who are you without your the advantages that you get, your undeserved advantages? Who are you? Who can you be without, having a leg up for stuff that you shouldn't have a leg up for? Who could you be? How can you live without a get over type complex? I see the same thing watching TV and race relations. America has a hard time with its caste system. The caste system finna stop. And people are like, no, who am I without my position to be here? Because the population is changing demographics, so that's going to stop it. People are tired of the oppression, and that's going to stop it. And the people at the top are complete idiots and screw ups. So they actually blew the financial part of the system that kept people in an advantage. So now it's like, and all people are doing is just lashing out. So now it's like, okay, well, you're gonna be held to task for your behavior. The buck stops here, and now people are afraid because, well, no, you can't take away my racial advantage. You can't take away my class advantage. No, too bad. Too bad you shouldn't have had that advantage in the first place. If this is if we're talking about a free market and a fair market, then you don't need all of these unfair advantages, right? And this is what I mean. Like, all of these unfair advantages are flipping people out because a lot of people haven't worked on self-improvement or a skill other than manipulating and scamming the situation. Other than standing in the comforts of whatever privilege they have. This is part of the feminism versus like MGTOW or MRA society. It's like, since you ladies want to get these advantages, these are the unfair advantages you want. Okay, cool. Have them. But you're going to deal with the consequences of it. And the women like, no. But I want chivalry when this messes up. No. You made a choice. You got to stand on it. You got to live with it. And a lot of people just don't want to come to grips with, the buck stopping. Because what's happening is every group that wants to have it their way doesn't really participate in the collective of making the collective society better. They just participate in their little opportunist pocket to get over and get what they want. And unfortunately, you know, it's not enough money to go around for that to work anymore. So now you got to eat crow. You know, now you got to see if you actually can pull yourself up by your bootstraps. If you can actually compete in the fair market. You know, I see the same thing on YouTube. Like, I make videos. This is a hobby, but I'm not naive to the fact that YouTube creates unfair advantages with people. They prop people up and they push people down. I've said that plenty of times. But even that's going to come to an end at a particular point, because, you know, people are going to have to look for content that can actually be useful to their lives, and nerve ball fights and people doing dumb stuff for entertainment is not really going to cut it. You know, it is what it is. You know, people feeding into each stereotype for your entertainment to feel better, the buck's going to stop with that too. Propaganda, the buck is going to stop. But people have a fear of that, because if the propaganda buck stops, then you have to deal in the reality, and that's the problem that we have in America. A lot of people can't deal in reality. So we out. Catch you on the next one. Peace.